I know you're a young, ambitious man, and that's exactly why you need to hear this message. There's so much going around talking about how you need to go it alone and how you should be solo and be lonely and be in isolation to build things that mean something to you, that matter, that will change the world. But the reality is something else. Now, you've heard this saying that behind every strong man is a strong woman. You've heard people say this, and for the longest time, I think I misinterpreted what that meant. Now, similar to you, I thought that that always meant that if there is a guy doing something out there in the world, he's chasing his purpose, he's making a lot of money, he's just doing something great, something impressive, something valuable, something that other men would envy, that must mean that there's a strong woman behind him that's pushing him to go even further. It was this kind of idea that suggested that men might have been almost like immature. They couldn't do it themselves. They needed a mother figure in order to really push them to the next level. And that's what I thought for the longest time. But what I realized as I've developed and grown into my own person and really got to a place where now I'm really taking on big challenges with my life, I've come to understand that the meaning behind every strong man is a strong woman is actually so much deeper. And that's what I want to share with you right now. Now, the reality is men want to conquer things. They've wanted castles for a long time. They wanted to build grand armies so they could conquer these castles. But the reality is that you need extra motivation. You need an extra source of something that will push you to do those great things that the next guy won't do. And here's where that saying really comes into play that we've been talking about, that behind every strong man is a strong woman. The reality is that when you're a guy by yourself and you're telling your friends and even looking in the mirror, you're saying, I'm going to accomplish all these massive things. I'm going to have these huge feats that I'm going to accomplish, that I'm going to crush. Nobody is holding you to that. You can constantly postpone it and postpone it and postpone it and postpone it. You can be in your teens and then you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and there's no one that's really going to push you to actually do the thing. If you talk about it enough, then people will come to see you as this ambitious guy, this guy that's doing something. But if you haven't actually accomplished anything and no one around you really yet looks at you and sees the things that you've really done in real life, then you're not going to truly become that guy that you're telling everyone you want to be. Now, this is where the woman comes in. When you have a woman in your life, okay, and I'm not just talking about a romantic partner. This could be a girlfriend or a wife. This could also be a daughter or a mother. The reality is they're watching you. They're watching you so closely because chances are if you picked properly, they believe in you. And so when you, let's put this in terms of a romantic partner. When you get a girlfriend or you get a wife, you can no longer get away with saying, you know, one day I'm going to become this guy. One day I'm going to start this company. One day I'm going to learn that language. One day I'm going to make X amount of dollars. The reality is that you have someone that's looking up to you. And when you care about that person so closely, when you're in your masculine energy and she's in her feminine energy, what's going to happen is that you don't want to let her down. You're going to look into her eyes and she's going to look into yours and she's going to believe that you're actually going to become that giant that you say you are. And as soon as you do get a girlfriend that really matches with you in that energy, like I said, she's watching you. She's waiting to see this happen. She's waiting to see you become what you must become. And so you can no longer run away by just saying, here's what I'm going to be in the future. Here's what I'm going to be in the future, and borrow that identity of being someone who's great and doing great things, borrowing that identity from a guy who doesn't exist yet. You can't do that anymore because you have someone who's watching you day in and day out. And the truth is, you're terrified to let them down. You're terrified to be someone who isn't the guy that he said he was going to be. And so the saying, behind every strong man is a strong woman, is a woman who is there supporting in her feminine energy. And the masculine energy does not want to let that down because the feminine energy looks up to that masculine energy and sees a giant already. And it's your job as a man to make sure that you prove her right. And so I wanted to come on here and share with you my understanding of what this famous, maybe infamous saying actually means, and the significance that, you know, as you're watching through the camera, if you're a guy with a girlfriend or a wife or something like that, you don't want to let them down. And that extra little fear, that true fear, that terror of that maybe they'll look at you and realize that you're just an average guy, that fear is what's going to make sure that you don't turn out to be an average guy. And so guys, behind every strong man is a strong woman means that she is going to be there to support you with her feminine energy, but you are going to be strong as a result of being so terrified of showing her that you're just an average guy that you don't actually end up an average guy. I hope that this shed some bit of insight on this saying for you, because this hit me the other day and it hit me really hard, and it's something that I wanted to come in here and share with all of you guys. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Spencer with Must Become. Always remember that your potential is your obligation, and so what you can become, you must become.